It's all over. The Kings somehow, some way escape. They steal a win in Houston tonight, 130 to 128. De'Aaron Fox takes over in the fourth quarter, 13 points and 5 dimes. He was fouled with 0.3 of a second to go. Knocks down all 3 free throws to secure the W for the Kings, and they head back to Sacramento. A 4-3 road trip. Keegan Murray makes history. He had enough threes to set the Kings' rookie record for most threes in a season, surpassing Bogey. Hey, I'm Deuce Mason, joined by Morgan Reagan, who is driving back after a busy day. She's been in San Francisco all day, hosted a show, then hosted Kings pre, half and post-game live, and now she's live with me. How you doing, Mo?
I'm doing great. We all have busy days. This is the fun stuff.
Well, it was fun, but it was not tracking that way at one point. I mean, you remember, I think it was yesterday or the day before, whenever we talked about this, I was like, here's my thing. You gave up 120 to the Rockets. You got to hold them under 30 every quarter in the next game. The Kings did not do that tonight. In fact, Houston only had one quarter under 30. It wasn't necessarily the prettiest game, but the Kings, sometimes at the end of a road trip, you just got to grind one out. The Kings beat the Rockets 4 times this year. The first 3 were by 20 or more. Tonight was a much different story. Houston was tough. They battled. The Kings could not just separate, even when it looked like they were late after Keegan Murray hits a 3 to put them up 125 or 121, 116. Jalen Green was special tonight, Morgan.
Dude, he was on one. At times, it didn't matter who was on him, how they were on him. The only time that things started working is when the Kings started blitzing him. He turned the ball over right away. It forced him to make decisions. It forced him to have to think about what he was going to do next. But when that didn't happen, dude, he was like, okay, I only know of one thing, and that's to get buckets.
He got buckets tonight, 41 points. He did it on 14 of 22 shooting, 6 of 9 from 3. And yeah, the Kings defense wasn't great at times tonight. Obviously, we know this. You give up 128 points, but I mean, you just talked about it. Jalen Green's ability to hit some tough shots tonight, it was pretty remarkable.
Yeah, and to think that, I think Matt said his birthday is this week, or he just turned 21, or he's turning 21. It's just crazy to think how young he is. And, if you're the Houston Rockets, dude, right now, you're the Houston Rockets.
By the way, it's his birthday tomorrow, just so you know.
Oh, it's his birthday tomorrow. Okay. So if you're the Houston Rockets, you're a Houston Rockets fan, you're probably looking at tonight's game, contemplating everything that's going on in your life, why you're a fan and everything. It probably really sucks. But when you look at Jalen Green and his games, that's got to give you some confidence of okay, but there's a future.
Yeah, 100%. And then even Jabari Smith, whose final numbers weren't crazy or anything, he had a couple of nice plays, and I'm like, dude, this guy has the makings of being a special talent. And Şengün, I mean, he's a little wild at times with the passes, gets a little too crazy with the passes, but he had a big game today. I love that we're starting talking about the Houston Rockets tonight, by the way. But they did some nice things, and they competed in this game. Steven Silas called them out after the last game. It would have been easy for them to, roll over in the final game before the deadline. They did not, and they'll be kicking themselves because not only were they able to come back in this game to take the lead after Keegan Murray's 3 put the Kings up 121 to 116. That was with 3:32 to go, but you felt like, God, if the Kings can just kind of get a stop here and score, this game may be out of reach. Green comes back, hits a 3. Fox misses a jumper. Then Smith has this baseline jam. All of a sudden, it's tied up at 121 with 2:44 to go. Sabonis makes a layup. Jalen Green answers with the 3. He is fouled on the play with 2:18. So it's 124, 123. Mike Brown decides to challenge it. And this is kind of a key sequence in the game, Morgan, right? He uses the challenge there. They win it, but the 3 still counted. It just erased the and 1. I don't know if it was the right challenge. I think he was so focused on the leg kick, which ended up being the right he challenged it and got it right, but it didn't really help the Kings that much.
No, and like at first I was like, yeah, challenge it. That's what you got to do. But obviously, with the three still counting, it didn't really matter that much. But at least he was successful either way. So then he got to keep that timeout.
He did. Then Monk misses a three. Jalen Green comes in down and hits a shot with 1:46 to go to put him up three. That was like, I don't know how he made the shot. It was just great defense. It was a runner, knocks it in. You're just going, are you kidding me? Then Fox misses a jumper. Then Green again puts him up 5 with 1:17 to go. So when it's 128, 123, 1:17 to go, I'm like, well, this sucks. 3-4 road trip. You should have won this game. I was thinking bad things. Where were you at mentally when it was 128, 123?
Oh yeah, I was around that same spot. Just like, how is this happening? Like, what a terrible breakdown. I wasn't in a dark place. I was more just in the place of the focus and the mentality. Where were the breakdowns there, right? I wasn't thinking like this team is shit and everything's gonna go to shit. It was more just like this team isn't ready for challenging moments.
Yeah, and then that next play, when it was 128-123, the Kings ran a great play. Sabonis goes up, and Martin has a rejection of the cinch on that Sabonis dunk attempt. It was disgusting. And that's when you're going, all right, that's the game.
Yes. Well, that's when I was for sure thinking that's the game. Because also, by the way, which is just insane thinking that Sabonis was playing with 5 fouls during this time. But
that's a great point.
With that block, that's when I think I was thinking the more bad things.
Well, then Fox says, hey, Morgan, it's me, De'Aaron here. You know, this is my time. It's the fourth quarter. Great steal on Green by Fox. He goes down and scores it. It's cut to 3 with under a minute to go. So you're going, okay, this is interesting. So that's it. Then the next play you had, this was a key sequence. 128, 125. Offensive foul. Kenyon Martin Jr. driving. Keegan Murray is there to draw the charge. How big of a play was that by the rookie?
Huge. It was, I mean, even you saw how he took that charge too. Like, they were going straight downhill. Wait, who was it that was driving?
It was KJ Martin or Kenyon Martin Jr.
Yeah. KJ Martin, he was going downhill, full speed, out of control, and Keegan was like, well, guess I got to do this.
Insane. Absolutely insane. So then they challenge it, was not overturned. It's King's ball. Fox comes down and just hits a bucket that you're just like, this guy, man. This guy comes up big down the stretch, and it was huge. It cuts it down to 1 at 128, 127 with 42 to go. Green comes down, and he misses a shot, which I'm like, oh, my God. Kings get the rebound. Monk takes it to the rim, and I'm thinking, he's got this. Misses the shot. Yeah. Sabonis has a look, misses it. Keegan, the tip in, no, comes down, misses. They call a jump ball, and you're like, holy shit. It's 128, 127, 1-point game. The Kings had 4 looks at the basket, and now you go to a jump ball between Martin and Murray? You're thinking it's game then, right?
Yes.
Morgan, yes.
I'm like, you know what's funny? I'm listening because I'm like obviously not in studio. I'm listening to you, and it feels like you're telling me a story. Yeah. It's exciting.
So I'm just living this out again because it was insane. So then the Kings lose. They don't get the jump ball. So timeout. Houston calls a timeout. 2.4 to go. Monk fouls with 1.7. Foul to give. All right, well, this sucks. 1.7. What the hell's going to happen? Şengün throws a bad pass. Monk has it. Kings take control. So the Kings get the ball with 1.2 left. Then this is what happened, Fox, at the end of the game.
Sabonis straddles the three-point line. Keegan Murray 2 strides away from him. Meanwhile, Fox above the foul line near the top of the foul circle, and Monk in three-point play. Here's Harrison, handed the ball. He looks, he finds Fox, he steps right, he launches for the win, way off target, not close. But a foul was called. A foul was called on the release. I think that's why that shot was so far off target.
Insane. So Fox is fouled on a three-point attempt with 0.3 of a second left. And I know there was outrage by the Rockets fans, players were pissed off. Eric Gordon did bump him, and the officials were asked about this after the game. A pool report was conducted by The Athletic with the crew chief of the game. The question was, why was the Fox three-point attempt with 0.3 seconds remaining in the fourth deemed a foul? The crew chief said, Gordon makes illegal contact to the lower body of Fox, affecting his ability to land safely. The follow-up, was there any doubt in the official's mind that it was a foul? He says, there was no doubt on the floor that there was no doubt on the floor that the call was correct. And after post-game video review, the call on the floor of a defensive foul is confirmed. So they reviewed it after the game. They said, yeah, that's a foul.
Wow, dude. And it's even that's what De'Aaron was saying after the game too. He was like, dude, Eric Gordon got me with his body. He got me. It's a foul. Like, that's what it is. And that's why I'm just so glad that we're not sitting here right now and being like, how did the refs not call that one again? It's like, no, they made the right call. It's not an easy call to make, by the way, especially with the way that Eric Gordon's a vet. He did a great job of keeping his arms away, but just the way that he nicked him with the chest, it was too much.
Incredible. And then Fox goes to the free throw line. It's always a nervous situation, right, to see how the Kings are going to handle free throws at the end of the game. De'Aaron Fox has been so much better at that, but still like, what's going to happen? Then he knocks down all three. Here's the final call from the G-Man.
The lefty, now in his 6th season with the Kings, delivers the second one, and the Kings have the lead. It's 129-128. Fox now has a 30-point ball game for the 15th time this season. Awarded 3 free throws with 0.3 of a second remaining. Here's the third one. He's got all 3 of them. 0.3 of a second for the Rockets. It's a 2-point Kings lead. Houston will have to throw it the length of the floor to get a shot. They let it bounce. Here's a desperation 65-foot heave that's nowhere near being successful. And the Kings have dodged a bullet. They get a win. They get a series sweep against Houston. And Houston fans and Rocket players are steaming right now.
Yeah, they were upset clearly because of that call. It didn't look like a lot of contact in my eyes, Morgan, and I feel like if that happened against the Kings, we're probably feeling like, oh, that was minimal, should not have been called, to be honest. But I get it is a foul according to the letter of the law. Am I crazy on that? Do you feel like it was that big of contact?
Can I tell you, dude, you would have said that to me, though. You would have been like, Morgan, that is deemed a foul in the NBA. And so no matter how we look at it for the Kings, whether it was a minimal contact or not, it is a foul. And that's exactly what you would have said to me if it was the other way around.
That's tough. And I get why they would be upset in that situation.
Yes, absolutely. No, I totally understand. And I want to celebrate, like, being on this side of the call for once. But I'm with you, too, where it's just tough sometimes because it's like, what is that player supposed to do? Like, contact is going to be made for the most part by a defender and by somebody because this is a physical game. But, hey, it altered the shot, and that's where I think they really come in with that body shot by Eric Gordon.
Somehow, some way, the Kings escape. They're now 31-23 on the season. So we just kind of went over that final minute stretch that was a roller coaster ride. What else jumped out to you tonight about this Kings win?
Well, I think you and I were texting about De'Aaron Fox in the fourth quarter, his 13 points, 5 assists just in the fourth. And I look at the way that he's been playing throughout a game, and I'm loving it more and more. Even when he doesn't have his turn on the jet moments consistently throughout a game, that's just not sustainable. That's not going to happen with any player in the NBA, and especially if you're one of the fastest players in the NBA. But to have that fourth quarter production from De'Aaron Fox on the last night of a back-to-back after he's sleeping on little hospital beds because he just birthed a child with his wife, it is absolutely insane to think about what some of these athletes go through in their off-the-court lives and then what they're able to produce on the court.
Yeah, 31 points for De'Aaron, 11 assists. He also had 5 rebounds. I love this number from De'Aaron tonight. 9 of 10 from the free throw line. I love him getting to the free throw line 10 times, knocking down 9 of 10. He was 11 of 23 from the field. By the way, I want to get to the people watching us live in the chat. Appreciate you guys being here. Biggest thing you could do, hit the thumbs up button. Just helps our channel grow so more fans can see what we're doing. Helps us continue to build this channel. Also subscribe like Josh Brock did. That helps us. We're chasing 10,000 subs. We are less than 250 away from 10,000 subs. Rob in the chat, who used to be an official, says, Gordon hit an airborne shooter. It's a foul every time.
Okay.
So that's,
I'm
going to trust the guy who used to actually be an official. I said it was minimal, but hey, look, a foul's a foul. I thought there were definitely a lot of questionable calls in this game. I mean, even the jump ball, right? Late, where it looked like it went off Gordon's fingertips, and unfortunately.
No, dude, that was so icy. You're saying the jump ball and then leading to Gordon. But wait, really quick, dude. Leading to the jump ball, even the ref calling a jump ball when all the Kings players were rebounding. I thought Keegan Murray might have stepped on the baseline.
Yeah, it's probably, I didn't really get a good look at it, so I don't know. But it looked like the ball clearly went off Gordon on that one sequence, and I know my reaction. Oh, officials, go look at it. Everyone's saying, hey, everyone, go look at the officials. Go look at it now. Well, the league changed it, I think, within the last year or two, where in the final 2 minutes of a game, that type of situation can only be reviewed on a coach's challenge. And Mike Brown had used that challenge earlier on that three-pointer by Jalen Green when he was called for, when Barnes was called for a foul.
Yeah, which, you know what, I do, I like it and I dislike it. I like it because what we used to see was every single out of bounds in a close game would be reviewed, right? And it would just stop the game so much. And I liked it because they would be getting it right, though. But I disliked it because of the pace of the game. And you see tonight, it would have been King's ball. But at the same time, that's why coaches are also given this challenge to hopefully save for big moments like that.
Yeah, and the jump ball was weird. I agree, Zebra, in the chat. It took them an hour to do it. I hate jump balls. Get rid of the jump ball.
I know. But it worked out for the Kings in the sense of I truly thought Keegan Murray might have stepped out of bounds on the baseline, and the entire Rockets bench was signaling it's a travel. He's traveling. I didn't see it travel, but yeah, I didn't. I would need a closer look at it too.
Next up, talking about this game, Morgan, obviously the defense is going to be talked about again because you play the Rockets twice in a row. This is a team that's near the bottom of the NBA in offense. They shoot 54% tonight. They knocked down 10 of 22 from three. They got to the free throw line 28 times, 24 of 28. And the Kings were out-rebounded tonight, 44-31. It is pretty insane that the Kings found a way to win this game, and probably the biggest reason was because of the turnovers by the Rockets. They had 19 turnovers, turned into 27 points for the Sacramento Kings. On the flip side, all the Kings shot 50% and 10 of 30 from three. The Kings only had 9 turnovers in this game. The Kings also did a good job getting to the line. They shot 28 of 30 from the line. So great free throw shooting by the Kings tonight. It just felt like, was it like the end of the road trip, tired legs? It's almost the All-Star break. Everyone's feeling it. There's just a lot of defensive breakdowns.
Yeah, and just really quick, kind of going off the good bit of even the free throws. Harrison Barnes was 5 for 5 from the free throw line, and there was times when I was like, post up, HB. He's looking good down low. He looked so strong, and it looked like he was going to draw a foul on these young players at time, like almost any time that he was down there. And so I appreciated what he produced tonight. And then, Deuce, you look at the Kings defense. Yeah, there were far too many times it was not pretty, which is pretty bizarre to think about. Some of the biggest moments late in this game were big-time defensive moments. Malik Monk, the game-winning steal on that end of the floor, and then even De'Aaron Fox with that defense when he got up on Jalen Green to steal the ball and get the easy bucket. Like, that obviously happened before the steal.
Sure, and then the Keegan charge. You're right. Those were they had some timely defensive plays late, and that was definitely encouraging.